Today we are diving headfirst into the exciting world of web development. Our first lesson on HTML, the backbone of every website you have ever visited. So whether you dream of creating your own blog, designing an online store, or crafting the next big social media platform, understanding HTML is your crucial step. So let's get started. Hello everybody, I'm Virali, your guide on this coding adventure. Now, before we dive deep into the nitty-gritty of HTML, let us understand some of its basics first. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, but don't let the fancy name intimidate you. Basically, HTML is a set of instructions that tell the web browsers how to structure and display the content on a web page. So let us understand how you can write the code in HTML, which lets the browser understand where the text or the content has to be placed on the web page. Imagine HTML as a blueprint of a building. So it defines the layout, the walls, the doors, and windows, or everything that needed to create a functional space. Similarly, HTML defines the structure of a web page, specifying where the text, images, or other elements should appear. So you go ahead and write any syntax enclosed in angular brackets. So using angular brackets, we go ahead and write our HTML code. Now, let us understand few elements which are considered as foundational elements in HTML, starting first with markup elements. A markup element typically consists of an opening tag, content, and a closing tag. So the opening tag basically tells the browser where the element begins, while the closing tag signals its end. Let us take an example which is shown on the screen, understanding how we can write the tag first, followed by the content and then the closing tag. So here we have a body tag as an opening tag, making the browser understands that this is the content that needs to be displayed on the web page. So we have a starting tag, which is a body tag, followed by the content, which is hi, welcome to Learn with Virali. And then we have the closing tag, which is /body. Anything between these tags is considered as a content. So basically you can put everything, maybe text, maybe images, maybe links, or even other markup elements. Basically, they provide the structure and organization to the web page, making it easier for both users and the browser to understand. So now let's go ahead and talk about the empty element. Empty elements are considered exactly opposite to the markup elements. So unlike markup elements, empty elements does not have a closing tag. So instead, they have a self-closing tag identified or written as a single tag. As you can see on the screen, we have taken the example of a BR tag wherein it signals the browser that the next line followed in the paragraph has to be written as a new line. That's where we understand that it's a simple instruction that has to be given to the browser, or the browser needs to implement the break line concept, making it sure that the next line is supposed to be started as a new line. Hence, it is a self-closing tag, making sure that there is no further content followed by a break line instruction given to the browser. Now, empty elements are like placeholders. So they serve a specific purpose, such as like embedding multimedia or adding line breaks or importing the other form elements. And there you have it. Markup elements and empty elements are identified as richer elements in HTML, and they help you to organize and structure your content better. So remember to use these elements wisely, making sure to understand that your web page is structured properly. Next big question that would come to your mind is to ask, which is the code editor that we are going to be following through for this entire series? So just to answer your question, I would be requiring you to be curious enough to learn more. That is, willingness to learn. Definitely a computer with an internet access, and Visual Studio Code Editor is the code editor that we'll be using throughout this entire series of learning HTML. So whether you are a seasoned programmer or a complete beginner, there is something here for everyone. And remember, The best way to learn is by doing. So roll up your sleeves and fire up your text editor. And let's start building something amazing together. In the next video, we will dive deeper into the world of HTML and start creating our very first web page from scratch. Until then, happy coding!